Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Taiba HouseOfKicks.com, and this morning we're going to talk about the Jordan 1 Lucky Green. Now, the shoes was made exclusively for the ladies, but they're going to be available in extended sizes. That means guys with like smaller feet will be able to get their hands on it. Now, according to Nike, it was inspired by Michael Jordan's performance against the Celtics when he scored 63 points. MJ was a killer. I mean, he went out there and he just gave them 63, So the shoe was basically inspired by that. But for me, when I look at the shoe, what it reminds me of is the high neck and Nike SB. But Nike has its own agenda, so they choose to tie it up to MJ's performance. So we'll stick with that. All right. So it looks extremely nice. I like the way it looks. I'll give you a better look at it. This is a look at the toe box, and it looks kind of buttery a little bit. But if you look on the panels, to me, it almost looks like they're using some kind of tumble leather overlays and even the underlays. And then the swoosh logo is kind of glossy, some kind of patent leather. And this is a look at the back. Extremely nice shoe. I like it. I like the green on it. I like the white on it. And if you see how the edges, it's a little bit of it looks like some kind of a beige color. And you have the red Wings logo. And then they come in kids and men's. Now, red is also on the Wings logo, like I said, on the outside of the tongue. You also have red on the extension on the tongue right here. And I'm going to go on my side and show you more pictures here. I kind of like this better. See this? This is the black on the back of it. And this is the another side view. All right, so now we're going to talk about the number made. And we're going to talk about resale value and all that good stuff. So the first thing I want to do is let's talk about numbers, and to do that I'm going to go to my PowerPoint, and we're going to look at that. All right, so actually let me start from here and let's do that real quick. So basically, the first thing we want to do is this: we want to know who's getting the shoe. All right, so who's getting the shoe, and that's what I did for you. So the first people that are getting it, that I know the major chains, are going to be Foot Action, Foot Locker, Champs. That's going to be in-stores and online, I'm assuming, and Eastbay online. And then you have Finish Line, you have JD Sports, you have Hibbert and City Gear. They both work together. And then for the minor locations, you have Downtown Locker Room in Rue Villa, Jimmy Jazz, Shoe Palace, Nordstrom, and then Shop Nice Kicks. That's a boutique. And then I included some of the international, some of the U.S. boutiques as well: Sneaker Politics, Extra Butter, Up NYC, Wish ATL, UBQ, and Bows and Arrows. Now, the hardest part about this job, again, is always figuring out the assumptions, like who's getting what and how many are they getting. But I want to stick to the U.S. retailers for now, and then we're going to do some inference on the international locations. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about the assumptions. So here's what I came up with. I'm saying that Foot Locker, Foot Action, and Champs are going to get about a third of the total production. And then the next thing is, we're going to assume that the remaining major and minor chains are going to receive like another third, and Nike is going to get the third of it as well. And then the next thing is, I'm going to assume that only half of the Foot Action locations are going to get it, and a third of the Champs stores are going to get it. And then that's like 136 Foot Actions, and that's like 182 Champs. And then for Foot Locker, what we're going to do is this: we're going to give the shoe only to House of Hoops locations. And there's about like 170 House of Hoops locations within the U.S. Now, the next thing is we have to add some following assumptions. And the next thing is this: we're going to assume that each House of Hoops is going to get 48 pairs because the shoe is kind of limited. And then Champs and Foot Action, we're going to give them like 18. All right. And the next thing is we are going to assume that the Foot Locker and Champs location are going to get about a third of the total the physical stores are getting. And then for Foot Action, we say half. Okay, because Foot Action has like less numbers. And then we're also going to give like eBay a quarter from the total from Foot Locker, Foot Action, and Champs. And then the next thing is we're going to run our numbers. All right. So for House of Hoops, it's going to be 170 times 48. I came up with 8,160 pairs. For Foot Action, it's going to be 136 times 18. This is 2448. And for Champs, it's going to be 182 times 18. This is 3276. And then for the online, we just take each number, divide it by 3. And the total of all these 3 gives me 5,036 pairs. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about Eastbay. I took it and I divided by 4. we get about $12.59 for Eastbay. And then the total from Foot Locker, Foot Action Champs, and Eastbay is going to be adding up all these numbers. I came up with 20,179 pairs, and I took it up to 22,000 pairs because of possible errors that I may have made. All right. And then the next thing is, since we established that this number is like a third of the total from the USA, so to find the total production, we just multiply this number by 3, and we get 66,000 pairs based on the assumption. Now that's not finished. Okay. I'm going to assume that for the overall production, like for the whole global production, is going to be between 66,000 and 130,000, because I kind of double up the production. I'm assuming that the USA get a lot more than anybody else, so the production will be between 66 and 130,000. So now we're going to talk about resale value. But before I do that, I want to show you something. I told you that fakes were out, so I wrote an article today on the fake pair, and I will invite you to check it, because the fakes have been on the market for a while now, and you want to be careful because this is a shoe that everybody wants. So I will invite you to read the entire post. I'm not sure if I'm gonna put that on YouTube, so just check my website. I'll give you a link in the description. So be sure to check that link in the description, and you can read the entire article on how to authenticate or how to spot the fake Jordan 1 Lucky Green. Now let's go back to our presentation, and now we're going to talk about the resale value. All right, so resale value, we talk numbers, so we've already done numbers, so let's talk resale value, and that's the resale. So I'm going to give you a chart. If you look at a chart, okay, let's go to the chart and let's look at the chart real quick, and then we're going to talk about what we see. So if you look at a chart here, right, you can see that it gives you a breakdown of the resale value by size. I did not want to study the shoe by day and all that, because I felt like it's played out. Now let's just go to the sizes. So you can clearly see that sizes 7 and 9 gives the highest like revenues, ranging from like $302 to $310, and every other size fall between the $250 and $290 range, as shown on the chart. So you can assume that the current average resale value of the model is like 282, and I try to see if I can do my like 5-number summary to find any outliers. I did not see any outliers, so that in that case I'm assuming that the shoe is going to be between like 280, and that's going to keep going up because this shoe is limited. So the shoe is going to keep getting in value as time progresses. So as of now, like, folks can expect to make margins, profit margins between like $54 and $80. That's how much you can expect to make on this shoe if you get it. Now, based on the size that you get, that's all based on the size that you get, and the markup is like between 30% and 41%. So that's a good shoe to invest in. As far as I'm concerned, this is a good shoe. So if you want to get it, you should go ahead and get it. I don't know how hard it's going to be. I mean, obviously it's going to be super hard to get, but if you're interested in buying now, I have a link for you. Just check the website. Just check the link in the description. I'll have a link for you, and you can just click on it. I have a set of sellers for you there. So the best thing to do is this: read the real versus fake, and then choose the sellers that I gave you in this list there. So be sure to check the website and do that. All right. Again, thanks for watching. This is Ty from Stockists. And by the way, I've released some more articles on fake ones. So, and the red Jordan 12 reverse, I released an article on that. There's a fake one, so you may want to check that up too. You want to be careful because there's a shoe that people are going to want to duplicate, and I did that the other day. So you want to read the article as well, and you also want to check out the fake PSG4. I wrote about that as well, so be sure to check that out. Again, if this helps you guys out, be sure to share it with your friends, or with anybody. Share it on your YouTube, share it on your social media page, and then subscribe to House of Kicks. Subscribe because that does help me out a lot. All right. Thanks again for watching, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.